Good morning, guys. Well, we let the garden site breathe for a few weeks and just let that rain wash some things out. And this is the first time I've been back for a little bit, and I've got a really cool piece. Look at that. That is perfect bifacing. That's that football shape. Look at that. Look at that. Boy, that's a bit of a fresh break, I'm afraid, too. But you never know. You know, I might just have that piece. That's why I keep some of the brokes. But wow, what an awesome blade. Man, if that thing right there was whole, that'd be a great candidate for rehafting and putting a handle on that thing. But looks like maybe a plow got to it before I did. It never ceases to amaze me, their ability to work this old quartz. Man, that's a hard material to work. Awesome piece. Well, that just caught my eye. You can see that, can't you? See that worn indent in the middle of that rock? I'm going to leave it here because I've got enough of those and not enough room to store them all, but it's a little platform for maybe grinding some nuts or something like that. A grindstone of some sort. If you guys are like me, you have a lot of questions about how these stone tools were actually used. One of my favorite YouTube channels is a channel called HuntPrimitive. Now, this guy has actually taken buffalo using a traditional bow and arrow with a stone point. And he also butchers the animal using stone tools only. And you might be amazed at how effective they are. Go check out this channel. There's a video I'm going to link to in the description. You'll learn a lot. Well, just a couple feet away, I think I've got another blade. Absolutely. Look at that. Just goes to show you. I mean, I've hunted this garden so many times, and you think that, you know, something this size would have popped up, but oh, look how pretty. Look at that. But you know what? There's so much stuff here that I've yet to find. Big stuff. Hey, maybe even some intact big stuff. It's possible. Look at that. That is a preform. A lot of big stuff popping up today. So they were working on that one, trying to make that into a blade, but it looks like they hit a big stack in this area right in here. Or you know what? Maybe this was quarried at a site and just kind of roughly shaped and for whatever reason never used. But you can see the working on it. Very cool. Well, this will be an interesting pool anyway. Guys, I've probably got 20 or 30 of this style of point out of this location. 95% or even maybe more than that are snapped off. And usually you can tell right from the get-go, but we get to do a little extraction and a little hoping. What do you think? Think we can get a whole one out of this? Well, let's see. Oh, come on. Look at that. Well, you know what? I won't whine about it. It's more intact than most of them. Definitely got reworked down to its bare bones. Got a little bit of a stack there that looked like they were fighting, trying to thin that thing out. But literally just the tiny little tip. That's okay. That's a cool looking point. Now, these will really kind of fool you at first because, boy, you start seeing that shape right there and you start thinking really, really old points. But this is a point that I believe is called a Garden Creek style point. And it's actually late archaic or early woodland. Probably in this side, I would lean towards the late archaic side. But they are cool looking points. All right, on to the next. It's a little difficult to tell, but I don't think that's just flake. Get to do another reveal. It's got a little resistance. Oh, come on. Be there. Be there, be there, be there, be there, dadgummit. That is a fine one right there. Oh, man. That is so thin. Man, what a beautiful point that would have been. All right, guys, a quick wrap up. Pretty cool looking little blade piece here. Like the color on it. And, you know, not one complete point today. But I guess maybe that separates the artifact hunter from the artifact collector a little bit. Hey, there's room in this world for both of them, but everybody loves a nice complete point, but this is very satisfying to me. So we got 3. Now this one's a bit cruder, but that's what it was headed towards at least. 3 of these, what I call them, Garden Creek style points. Beautiful base to a blade, preform, and some nice chert. And a tip that I didn't show you. Always nice to lay your hands on some nice ancient history. All right, guys, down on the low end of the garden, there ain't much, but I do find pottery and chert occasionally, and I think it floats, to be honest with you. I think it's this lighter material, but look at that. It's either a big piece of chert. Oh, what a faker. That burn, look at that. Yep, I really thought there was a whole lot more to that piece. Let me give you a little tip that might help you if you find yourself out in a large field that's been plowed in particular, and you maybe you've got a short amount of time or you're only going to be able to hunt it once. This might get you on artifacts a little bit quicker. So the old rule of thumb is always hunt the higher ground. Now here's why that is, okay? This garden that I hunt is sloped. Higher here, this is the low end. I want you to take a look. As we walk up towards the high end, the amount of lithic material, quartz flaking, rocks in general, increase the higher that I go. Okay? And that's for 2 reasons. One, if you're going to have your camp set up in a field, no one wants to sleep in a mud puddle. So they inhabited the higher ground. But it's also for another reason. Water flows downhill, and when it gets to flowing, it carries with it mostly dirt. A rock caught my eye there. Mostly dirt. So dirt is going to be traveling downhill with the water, and over time, it's going to settle. You see how much more barren this dirt is? Now, along the edge of this creek, there's a hump. That hump's probably not a bad place to look. I'm talking right in here, okay? If that grass wasn't growing, there's a chance, well, that hump didn't form naturally. That was plowed up there. So you could run across an artifact in there, but this lower side does not hold nearly as much lithic material because dirt has flown down and has covered it over. So, good rule of thumb, hunt the higher spots. That's where they inhabited. Also, all of this dirt was once up here. Most of the rock material has been left up there. So it kind of concentrates the rock material that you're looking for on the higher portions. Doesn't mean you can't find something down here. There are artifacts underneath my feet, but I think they're under quite a bit of dirt and it's less likely to find stuff in the low points. Now, I used a word a minute ago that maybe not everybody understands, but lithic materials is material that was used for making tools. If you're going to artifact hunt, that's where it all starts, identifying the materials that are going to be commonly found in your area. Best way to do that is to look at a local collection, maybe at a museum. You kind of need to know the area they came from. That'll give you a good idea of what type of rock to look for. But some things you kind of want to watch for. You start seeing large rocks like these pop up. More than likely that's from an old fire pit, an old hearth or something like that they had somewhere in this general vicinity, and the plow has kind of scattered it. Those are good areas to kind of pay closer attention to. Then you need to take it down to the next level. So let's just take this area right here. Now, there's no obvious artifact showing up here, but I'm looking at multiple indications of tool making, chert, quartz flake, chert, chert. What else? There's another piece of chert right there. There's another piece right there. You seeing anything else? It's here. It's a quartz. All right. So right offhand, 1, 2, 3, there's 5 pieces of non-native material right there, and 1 piece of native material. That's as good as it gets as an indicator. All right, so right where that white rock is where we picked up all that chert. It's sitting right here. Another piece of chert caught my eye, but we got the back of a wood. It's broke. I can already tell it's broke. Yep, back of a little woodland point. So there you go. That worked out well. Ooh, I think I just got a pretty one. Look at that. Wow, look at that, guys. That is some of that red type chert I have found flakes of, but that is by far the best artifact that I have found out of that stuff. How cool is that? I wonder if that broke, or you see how knobby that is in there? If that was just poor material and just worked that way. I suspect that it's not broke at all. That is just the way that they reach. Look at that. Ain't that interesting in there? Look at those little nodules inside there. Yeah, this material is found some flakes of it around here, but not totally sure where that comes from, to be honest with you. Very cool.